Hey, welcome to the garage. I'm Greg, and for this Member Monday, I wanted to profile someone who offers a pretty unique service to people in this area. Now, you don't have to be a member of Skidmark Garage to take advantage of this service, so if you're new to wrenching on bikes like I am, check this out. Skidmark Garage! First bike, it is a 1973 CB500. It has a 1974 550 engine swapped into it, and the previous owner had it nice and tuned. It's been running awesome all summer, had a lot of fun on it. Just did the DGR, the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. It was a good time, but now it's starting to give me some problems. It's starting to lean pop a little bit on the deceleration. The number one header is not quite as hot as the other three, so I know there's an issue there. But it's got a shorty exhaust on it, and it's got the pod filters, so it's jetted for more fuel. I'm not sure where to start. Now, I could take it to a professional, but then I wouldn't be learning much. And I joined this garage so that I could learn. So I actually have a solution. And we're going to talk about that in this video. Let's get to it. He's sitting right here next to me. His name is Steve Knoble of Knoble Moto, and I'm going to ask him to tell you a little bit about why you're with me today.
All right. Basically, what I do is I teach classes in motorcycle repair and maintenance for the hobbyists. You don't have to necessarily go to a trade school just to learn how to fix your own bike. So I teach classes here at Skidmark. I have a website, blog, YouTube. You know, all the normal channels everyone has anymore. And the idea is sharing your knowledge out with everyone else.
Now, I'll preface this by saying I have two manuals for the bike. There's probably 10 different things I could have done before calling Steve. But for the sake of the video and really starting from scratch, like right what we're experiencing, I just wanted to get out here and let you take a look at the bike.
All right, sounds good. Yeah,
Awesome.
We'll jump into it. We'll pull some plugs. See what you got going on there. Check all the simple stuff first. Vacuum leaks, anything that's loose mounts, loose plug wires, anything like that. Air filters, any odds and stuff like that. We'll check off all the simple stuff off the list, then we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, just checking over all the obvious stuff first. Making sure the carb clamps, the mounts on the intake are tight. Nothing's plugging up the air filters. No obvious stuff. No mice have crawled in here and build a nest where they shouldn't, you know. Throttle still works properly. Nothing completely out of whack right there. All your exhaust gaskets look okay. No carbon buildup anywhere, so it's always usually the first thing you want to check. Make sure it's nothing obvious.
Checking the spark plugs. Number one didn't look too bad. I'm thinking this one might look rich.
Yeah, you can zoom out of there a little bit. It's pretty carboned up. Probably running a little bit rich there. Interesting enough, on the back side here, we're kind of got a clean spot. So my guess is at some point in the RPM, you're running rich, and then another point, you're getting to like a clean burn on it. Though I'm going to guess, since you said you were getting the decel pop, which is usually associated with running lean, which is da-da-da-da,
yes.
da-da-da-da. Probably your idle is probably a little rich. So when you richened up the idle, you might have just went a tad bit much.
Okay.
So I guess the next step we'll do is we'll back that off a little bit.
Okay.
And I'll pull the other plugs out. We'll see what's going on with those, and then we'll make an adjustment on the carb.
All right. So this is a 1974 CB550 carburetor. It's got an air bleed screw, which means that it is creating a sort of intentional air bleed inside the carburetor. When you turn this screw all the way in till it's set, it's not letting any air out. It's causing a full vacuum, pulling all the fuel. As you turn this screw out, you are creating an intentional air bleed, which then creates less vacuum, so it's sucking less fuel out of the bowl and into the engine. I was at 3/4 and it wasn't running great. So we're gonna go out 1 1/4 turn. So if you watch right here, it is half, half again, and 1/4. And I basically did that with all 4 carburetors. Key on, and I can't tell you how many times I started this bike without the fuel on and ran the carbs dry, so make sure you hit the fuel right there and give it full choke right here. Started the bike up. It kicked a little harder than I'm used to, but it started up. And then I went out and warmed it up, and it felt really good to me. And then you took a ride on it.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I rode really good. Pulls hard through the gears and a good hard, pull through the RPM bands, which tells me, your mid and your main fuel circuits are working really well. Because there's no sudden surges or sudden flat spots or anything. So your jetting's probably pretty solid with it, I would say. So yeah, but you made the adjustment to the idle circuit there. So in turn, you're getting a little less fuel, like right at cold start. So it will probably kick a little bit harder. Just not physically harder, but you don't have quite that rich amount of fuel that you have to get that easy start.
Yeah.
But other than that, you should be sitting pretty good. It's still got a faint little bit of a lopey idle to it, you can hear kind of an intermittent miss there, which could be your idle circuit, could be partially clogged on your number 1 cylinder on your carburetor. They are the smallest little port, so it's easy to get a little bit of crap from somewhere floating up in there, even though you cleaned it before.
Yeah.
Sometimes something breaks free and moves.
Yeah.
Or another good spot to check, we talked about these your spark plug wires. They look a little old. They've been on there for a while. Common Motors sells new wires. Now, on these bikes, the wires are actually attached to the coils. But I think they're like $50 or $60 and get you a new coil with 2 new wires on it.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And then the plug boots actually thread onto the end of the wire.
Okay.
But you get that, and then you're sitting good with the whole system there.
Mm-hmm.
Because these wires don't look great, and sometimes at idle you might still have a little resistance there. Maybe it's arcing out to your engine case. So I think plug wires. Try that. 4 new plugs, and see where you're at. If it still gives you problems, pull your carbs apart and see what's going on in your idle circuits.
And I will actually follow up with some video on how I change out those wires. Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, glad to help out.
Hey.
If you want to know any more info, check me out online, knoblemoto.com. That's Knoble moto.com. And I'm on Facebook, Instagram, all the usual social media stuff, and YouTube. Got lots of videos on there too. So, yep.
Cool.
All right, man.
Thanks.
Cool.